Hey there, beautiful souls. I hope you are having a wonderful start to your day. I wanted to come on here. We just had the presidential debate last night here in the US. And I think depending on what lens you come into that with, where you think the state of the world is, where we're going, it can cause a lot of disturbance, right? There's a lot of concern. And I think the world is a bit chaotic right now. Oh, let me check. I'm trying a new platform. Here we go. Okay. I'm testing out a new platform to get this streaming on multiple places all at the same time. So we'll see how we like it and if it's necessary. But back to what I was saying. So I wanted to come on here today and just share with you some thoughts on how to keep your inner peace, how to keep peace amidst the chaos. And, I always think about life as a very simple equation. This is something I figured out after my traumatic brain injury. I think sometimes life throws you curveballs and it backs you into a corner, right? And it's like you are forced to have to face things. And I was forced to have to face the fact that I couldn't work. I'd lost my health. I was in bed all day. Like, can you imagine being in a dark room all day with your own thoughts? I think most people would go crazy. And that was where I found myself many, many years ago. And what happened was this deep understanding that, wait a second, I actually have control of my thoughts. Like, I cannot control the fact that the accident happened, that my health was taken. We can't control the politics in our country, what people are doing, where people are going. We can't control these things, right? And there's so much. It's like if you were to hit what is that? The cue ball, right? The white ball on a pool table, and you go and you hit the balls that when it's so perfectly set in a triangle, you hit it, and poof, all this chaos happens, right? This ball hits that ball, and this one goes into the pocket, this one goes over here. If you're too crazy, the thing pops off the pool table, and you can't really figure out, well, what caused what, right? There's so much chaos that entered the system. And all you can do is go, okay, with where things are right now, how can I act? And I think this is where I want to bring all of us back to a reminder myself, reminder all of you that, look, if you want to create peace, you have to decide how you are going to internally respond to life's events. So you have the external world, and then you have your internal response. That makes your reality. So you can choose to get upset, to create stress in your own mind, to do things that make a situation less stilling internally, or you can choose to accept things as they are, right? It's like resist and suffer, or accept and then act and figure out, okay, how do I want to be with what has shown up? What am I going to do with the fact that life has thrown up in this way? And there's a lot of ways that we can figure out how you can internally shift. And I think first you got to recognize that you have a choice. That's number one. Number two, you need to start figuring out, how am I currently internally responding? And just a simple exercise, just journal. Just journal every day for a week about the things that really pissed you off. The times in the day that you got upset, that you got triggered, that you were like, this shouldn't be, it couldn't be that way. I can't believe they did this, da, 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 da. Right? If you start to track those things, it's going to start to show you a theme of how you are internally responding to life. And I'm sorry, but it's going to make you take ownership of these things, which some people would prefer to be in a victim mentality. But it is going to force you to realize the part you're playing in the equation. No, life's not always happening in a way that's fantastic. But guys, life is neutral. We do this magic trick where we make it personal, or, oh, it's coming after me. Oh, they did this to me. No, it just unfolded. Like, life just happened, and then you brought a response to it. And that response usually is based on things from your past, based on things you haven't let go of, based on how you have an expectation of how things should be. If you want to find inner peace, you need to start working on that internal response. You need to take ownership about how you are facing things, right? When a challenge occurs, rather than saying, well, it shouldn't be this way, it ought to be different, blah, 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 blah. Instead, you can say, well, what is this making possible? If this was meant to teach me, what is it teaching me? If this were a test, what do I need to apply here? What knowledge do I need to apply here in order to pass the test? Right? Sometimes you get pushed into a corner in life, and it's like it's forcing you to transform, to bring out the best in you, or to bring out a different aspect of you, a way you didn't even know was an option of being. Right? We have so many different options in front of us, but we get so narrowed in on how we habitually respond. Like, how many of you know a pessimistic person? Right? They're just pessimistic about everything. I mean, it's exhausting. I work with some of them in my business, and it's like no matter what happens, they say something negative about everything. And you present options to them, and they're like, oh no, this can't work, or can't work for that reason, or no. And you're like, okay, if that's how you want to be with life, fine. But you got to start to realize, right? It's easy to point the finger and see it in other people. It's so easy. But what I'm asking you to do is hold up the mirror and look at yourself, right? Write those things down over the next week. Allow yourself to see, how is it that you are turning up in the situation? How are you causing the reality of your life to be experienced as it's being experienced? Okay, because you do play a role. And it's the only place you have control is you. How you're going to respond, what you're going to say, what you're going to do. This is the only place where you actually have any level of control. And what I would encourage you to do is start to make choices that bring stillness, that bring inner peace. You can start with the choices you make about the music that you listen to, the shows that you watch, the social media that you consume. Are those choices that you are making creating more or less disturbance inside of you? Are they creating a reality that is peaceful, or one that's causing, like if you're eating a ton of sugar, right, that's causing your body to have this chaotic response? Are you watching news that is stilling and calming in the way it's delivered? Or are you watching it where it's being delivered with a ton of emotional, impact behind it? Make your choices wisely, okay? Because these are all places where you have power to choose what you're doing. Your environment, is it clean or is it a little chaotic, right? You have to ingest all of that. So do you have plants in your home, right? Are you tidying up behind yourself, or are there dirty things everywhere? Like you have to understand that your body is having to digest and ingest all of these things. And so the question you should be asking yourself is this more stilling or less stilling? Is this bringing me peace, or is this bringing me inner conflict, inner friction? Right? That's the question to start asking. And this is where you can start to bring back your own peace and start to make choices about things that bring stillness to the mind. And you will see that your capacity to stay calm, your capacity to have inner peace is going to expand the more that you practice this muscle, and the more that you realize the opportunities where you can actually do something about it. All right. So one of the things that recently I've really enjoyed doing is chanting. I have the harmonium here. In a moment, I'll be playing it. But this, it's really interesting. Mantras, first of all, have a frequency to them that create peace, that create stilling. This harmonium, the musical instrument, right, creates a resonance in my body, a frequency in me that calms me. This is why we play relaxing music, right, during a massage or whatever it might be. There's a degree of that, the environment actually moving you toward more stillness and more peace. So this is my gift to you this morning, if you would like to stick around for it, to enjoy a little bit more stilling, a little bit more peace, to realize what you can cultivate inside of you. And before you jump away, maybe this is the exact thing that you need to support with your inner peace. So let me get situated. And we'll see if you want to see. Some people maybe want to try and play this. If you have a harmonium, you can see what I'm doing. Just feel that in your body. Feel what that's doing for you, just that sound. Just letting yourself feel that silence, that stillness, that backdrop that's always there. The chaos of our own mind and the world make us forget so easily. And just reminding you to just ask yourself during the week, over the next few days, how am I internally responding? What can I do to choose more stilling, more peace? I hope that this supported you in some way. I would love to hear if you've got any thoughts on this. Always the comment section. I'm right behind it, and I'm happy to talk with you. Have a beautiful day.